Good Friday morning to you. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. All right, folks. Now let's talk about when I left SRO Logistics, going to Atlanta to pick up my trailer. How I did my first week, what I did. There's a couple of things to keep in mind when we go over these numbers. The priority here was I was trying to work my way back to Lubbock for home time. I mentioned prior that in the prior video that I had a ton of stuff on the truck, double what I needed. I had 2 microwaves, 2 TVs. There was a large air conditioning unit that was on here. The guy that had the truck prior to me was running with a generator and using it as kind of a makeshift APU. So it was super crowded on the truck. I wanted to get a lot of this stuff off of here, and also wanted to be home for Thanksgiving. So this week wasn't bad, the week that we're about to discuss. And the way I'm going to do this is deductions come out on Mondays. So the pay period basically, even though we get paid 2 days after every load, and everything, the pay period runs Monday through Sunday. So if I deliver a load on Monday, I usually get paid on it by Wednesday. But anyway, the deductions every week come out on Monday, so we'll run Monday through Sunday on these numbers. And of course, I'm not going to do any of the deductions or what my take home is. You guys can figure those numbers out for yourself. But I can tell you my truck payment's very cheap. My insurance is also pretty cheap. And so the numbers I'm also giving you is gross revenue before SRO Logistics takes out their 20%. So you can figure all that accordingly. But let's cue up the music and let's jump into the numbers. Here we go.
This is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Alrighty, we're back. Before I do this, you guys make sure that you're subscribed. Then click that bell and select all so that you get notifications when these videos come out. Also, share this video with your friends and on your social media networks. And go ahead and hit that thumbs up. All of those things are free to do, and they really help me out. Alright, so when we last left off, I was in Atlanta. I had inspected the trailer and was unable to find a load by the time I got there and got everything done. So I ended up spending the night there in Atlanta and got a load the next day, picking up about 2 hours away in Salem, South Carolina, which it was a little bit of a deadhead, about 130 miles deadhead. I'd hoped to get something a little closer right there in Atlanta, but this was a decent paying load. It was going to Albertville, Alabama. So on this load, it was 132 empty, as I said a second ago, and the loaded was 277. A little more deadhead than what I like to have percentage-wise. And that load paid $800. So not bad at all. And so then I delivered that one the next day on the 20th. And I picked up a load in Decatur, Alabama, which was 58 miles away. And it was delivering the next day 654 miles away in Wilmer, Texas. Now that load, so we had 58 empty, 654 loaded. That load was not great paying. It paid $1,100. The next load, we had some layover. I did get $500 worth of layover. We'll figure that in the revenue here in a minute. Next load picked up in Dallas, Texas, going to Plainview, Texas, which is about 45 miles from my house. That load, 16 empty miles, 348 loaded miles. I did have some layover there. Their systems went down at the warehouse, and I sat for 24 hours. They gave me $500 worth of layover pay. So that made this load pay $13.75 instead of $8.75. And most importantly, it got me home for the 24th, getting me there in the area for Thanksgiving. And I was still able to do one more little local load that will be on next video's settlement from Lubbock, Texas to Midland, 130 something miles. I'll have that figured by the time we do that video. And it paid $6.75, so about $6 a mile, and still kept me in the area for Thanksgiving. So we'll jump into that in the future videos. But my first week brings my revenue, and it's really more than this, because I mentioned that he paid for my fuel from Gulfport, Mississippi to Atlanta. I didn't figure the fuel in here, but my revenue with the layover and everything for the week was $35.75. Now that was 1,279 loaded miles and 206 empty. If you add all that together, it's a little over $2 a mile if you figure the deadhead and everything in. If you don't count the deadhead, it's almost $3 a mile. So not a great week, but not a terrible week for sure. I'm sure some of you are going to come on here and tell me I did horrible or I did great, but it's you know, my numbers are what they are. I was happy with those, and like I said, I was able to get a lot of stuff off the truck, and I was able to be home for Thanksgiving as well. Actually, I was home for several days, but as I said, we'll discuss that in the next video. All right, folks, y'all have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.